What if the Holy Spirit wasn't just a feeling in your heart or an idea or a thought of God or even some words that Jesus said in John 14, 15, and 16? But what if the Holy Spirit provides a true, tangible space of healing for your entire body? I want to come into this place as a wholeness transformation coach, as a nervous system coach, and actually talk about how the Holy Spirit, the comfort of the Holy Spirit, can be a place that can help your nervous system and your brain step into a place of peace and wholeness that is far beyond what we've actually been leaning into. The phrase the Holy Spirit comes from John 14:26, where Jesus says, I'm going to send you the comforter. And that word comforter also means advocate. And it can also be translated as teacher. So it's an interesting blend of words. We know that the Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek are very unique and multifaceted languages. And we have this Hebrew word for the Holy Spirit, which is Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit of God, or the holy breath of God. Can mean the wind, the spirit, or the breath. We have Genesis 2:7 that says that God breathed his spirit into Adam's nostrils and he came alive. So meaning that his spirit caused him to actually come alive. And we have this place where Jesus then in John also breathes his breath into the disciples. If you've listened to any of my things, you know that I say these passages a lot, but we're going to look at this a little bit differently today. That Jesus breathes into his disciples and they experience the Holy Spirit of God. And then all through the book of Acts, the disciples and the apostles begin asking people, have you experienced the baptism of the Holy Spirit? Now, wherever you are on your spectrum of Christianity, I know many people, we're not totally sure sometimes what to do with Holy Spirit, all the way to we're super excited about the Holy Spirit. And a lot of people, we mention the word God or Jesus, but we don't often talk about the Holy Spirit. And, the Holy Spirit is the person of God that Jesus says, I have so much more to say to you. In John 16, I want to tell you more than what's in this Bible. I want to tell you more than what's I'm living for, but I can't do it right now. And you wouldn't understand it even if I did. How many times did the disciples not know what Jesus was saying? And so he says, but I am going to send you the Holy Spirit who is going to teach you and lead you all things. Okay. And I want to kind of lean into that a little bit because there's this tender place of our nervous system needing comfort and needing regulation, needing connection, as well as needing to understand things. How many times does this place of almost feeling a little bit of stress about the unknown or what we don't know, and that causes stress on the inside of us? And Jesus says, I've given you the Holy Spirit to help you in each of those places. Now, I am a nervous system coach as well as in ministry, and I love bringing those and bridging that gap. And I love talking about triune wholeness, the space of body, soul, and spirit. But we get that triune wholeness from the place of God being a triune being. We call him the Trinity, but he is a Father, a Son, and Holy Spirit. He is 3 in 1. That is all God, but each element, we talked about the Father a few weeks ago, and you can go back and listen to that about listening in and receiving from the Father and why that's so important. And I wanted to just lean into this part. Sometimes the forgotten part of God, the Holy Spirit. Oh, we need the Holy Spirit. We need you, Holy Spirit, to flow. Holy Spirit is the one that comes and unveils truth. But I want to listen into this place of Holy Spirit as comforter and how that connects to our body and our nervous system. We have the polyvagal theory that takes us through different rungs of our nervous system, but most people know about our sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic being our fight and flight system, being our activating system. It is a good system to have. We need to be alert and we need to be awake and we need to be able to move quickly sometimes. That is a good part of our system. God created it. It's not bad, but we don't want to live in that system. We also need to be able to come down into our parasympathetic, which is our rest, digest, and heal part of our nervous system. When we come down to that place, it allows us to heal. And then we also need that ventral vagal, which you don't hear a lot, but that's the place where we also need to feel connected. And that's where we ultimately have that sense and that core sense of, I am connected, I'm safe, and I'm free to show up in the world. Okay. And so as we practice this space of going, Holy Spirit, am I able to receive your rest to connect with my body? So a lot of times I notice that people connect with Holy Spirit as a thought or an idea, even God and Jesus. And we miss the idea that Corinthians says that our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. And when we bring in that space of just breathing in and connecting with Holy Spirit, one of my favorite practices actually is an older practice, 500 years old, from Madame Jean Guyon, a French believer, Catholic mystic, they would call her. She just simply said, we just slow our breathing down and focus on the core within us, on his presence. Just focus on his presence on the inside of you. Just begin to focus on him, on his goodness. And John 7:37 says that the Holy Spirit is living and dwelling in your belly. Now, however you want to focus on that, the idea being Christ in you, the hope of glory, is the Holy Spirit living in you. Jesus' Spirit living in you. And there's a lot of research to back how our breath connects to this vagus nerve. The vagus means wandering, and it's the longest nerve in your body. It goes from the brain through all the organs in the body and connects to it. That's why our thoughts produce an emotional response and affect different parts of our body because of that vagus nerve. That's why functional breathing, vagal breathing, vagus nerve breathing has such a powerful, profound effect on the body and brings us into the relaxation response and helps us heal. We've got heart math. I'm a heart math certified coach in multiple different functions. And that's why that's so important. But what happens when we know that we have something even deeper to tap into? It's not just our breath and it's not just vagal nerve breathing, but it's that we have the comfort, the living, breathing comfort of the Holy Spirit breathing within us, helping us find connection. The ventral vagal nerve requires a sense of connection. The parasympathetic requires a sense of comfort. And if we can't access that within ourselves, we have the Holy Spirit who is living within us. And this is why it can be so beautiful to partner the comfort of the Holy Spirit with our body's natural regulation, the way God has created us. It's not natural, it's God's creation. He created you, and everything in you is created to heal in the right environment. And you don't have to find or fight anxiety or the sympathetic. You don't have to fight not feeling connected or feeling disconnected. You don't have to fight that place of anxiety rising or fear rising. Let's just take that simple practice of heart math where you focus on your heart, you tuning your brain to your heart, you're slowing your breath to a rhythm. But now we connect it to the awareness, just the idea, the awareness that our breath is connected to the Spirit of God living within us, who has the Holy Spirit, who has the truth, who has, he is our advocate. So if we're stressed about something, if we're worried about something, if we're afraid, or just feeling the general awareness of stress, the Holy Spirit is our advocate for those things. Holy Spirit is our comforter, and we can tap into, Holy Spirit, would you advocate for me for those things? And would you give me your peace and your presence? You are shifting your nervous system with your breathing. You're helping your mind begin to focus on that inner place, focusing on the Holy Spirit. And we just begin to do that for a moment. Just focus on your heart, slow your breath, and just imagine the Holy Spirit filling you with his peace. Don't try to create your own peace. Imagine the Holy Spirit filling you with his peace. He holds peace. He is peace. And any tension that your body is carrying, just let that go into him. Release it and breathe it in. Just that simple practice. You can do that all day long. And I just want to remind you, peace isn't something that has to be forced. Peace is a person. It's received, and the Holy Spirit is already living and dwelling with you. And if he's not, I encourage you, get to know Jesus. Ask Jesus for the Holy Spirit. And he's ready to comfort your mind, your body, and your soul. And this is why I created all those guided meditations in my Wholeness Meditation Experience app to help you practice this daily, to go deeper in that space. And you can also jump into my peace process practice if that's something that you want to go a little bit deeper in. I want to really experience that and understand how to do these little simple practices. You can do that as well. So if you're dealing with burnout or anxiety, or you want to step into that, you can step into some Jesus-centered, science-backed tools to restore your nervous system and experience that peace and the comfort of the Holy Spirit. And I just pray for you right now, and I bless you to walk in and experience the perfect love, comfort, peace, and light and life of the Holy Spirit living within you. May you experience him in your nervous system, in your body, in your mind, and in your heart as you tune your attention to him. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your comments below. Let me know, and let's grow together. What's he showing you?